I just want to say that this then relates to the idea of should everybody be studying the same thing. I was just today I was talking to someone, this woman who I go through for a certain kind of incredible physical therapy. And I was mentioning that I was going to come on tonight, and she didn't know about Summerhill. I told her a little bit about it, and she said, "Oh, well, I had the opposite. I went to a strict Catholic school."
Mm,
And I said, and she said, I was still a free thinker, but these people they were really strict, but they were fair. So I was able to kind of make the best of it. The other kids thought I was weird because I didn't do all the stuff they did, and I came number 2 in my class. And I said, how did that make you feel? She said, oh, it made me feel really good. And then I said, how many people were there in your class? She said 50. And so my next question is, how did number 50 feel?
mm,
And she said, oh, terrible. They probably dropped out. So what the reason I'm mentioning this now is that this system, I don't know how prevalent it is in schools these days. In some countries, it certainly is. I'm not certain here, but the whole concept of ranking a class 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So think about, again, what I want to talk about is sort of the psychological, emotional effect it has on children. And I believe that, everybody has some innate, quote unquote, genius, right? And of course, genius is born out of what you love to do. Because anything you love to do, you're going to do it. You want to do it. You want to do more. You want to learn more, right? And so that's how genius develops, because you're following a path that is effortless and is joyful and you want to do. So when you're put into a situation where everybody has to study the same thing and then they are graded kind of against each other, um, what happens is, especially like when you're too young to really know yourself and what's really going on, say that you're a person who loves to work with your hands, and you can see that in a little child. This is a child who loves the Lego and is making himself and all the time, and another child might like to write little stories and draw pictures and just all different sort of natural things that we do, and the kids are going to do what they love to do. But then you're in school and everybody has to take math. Everybody has to do biology, sociology. And so the kid who loves to work with their hands and do all of this may not do very well in sociology or in one of those other things, or vice versa, right? So if you have a ranking 1 to 50 or 1 to 30 or whatever it is, and a child who may have an incredible aptitude for writing poems and just playing with language, or like me, playing with your voice, and then you're forced to do math or something you don't like, you don't feel good about, you get a poor grade, and then based on all of this, everybody does the same thing, you are ranked. And when they tell you, well, you are number 46, you're not doing good enough, you're stupid, or whatever sort of value judgment the school or the society is going to label on that student who is number 46 or 50, which is basically your failure,
right.
some version of that, right? And when you're a young person, when people are telling that to you, whether overtly or covertly, you don't have the sense of self and judgment to say, hey, screw you, I know who I am, and so you take that in, and then you start it spreads through your entire being, and you think, I am a failure, not just I'm no good at math, but I am brilliant at making funny little poems,
Bingo.
and so it colors your whole sort of identity, and you start seeing yourself as failure, less than, not able to, and then that of course is going to create a drag and
Sure.
make
I
it
would
harder
describe it
going
as
forward.
child abuse. I think it's a form of child abuse, and sadly, it's a systematic form of child abuse across our society. And I think a certain percentage of the students are overwhelmed with shame and humiliation because of years of this. And I think a really significant amount of the dysfunction, crime, in a variety of ways, mental health are all due to the systematic child abuse, where, especially when there's that kind of a hierarchy. So
No
you're
doubt.
preaching to the choir.
No doubt.